What is up, everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and today I will be discussing the latest happenings in the Boku no Hero story, including the long-awaited revelation about Deku's Doctor's true identity, including his name, his real name, his quirk factor, and how he has been able to acquire the ingredients necessary to manufacture the noumu. Oh, and did I forgot to mention that we're also in the middle of a massive hero operation that could be the first battle in a new Total War arc in My Hero Academia. There is a lot to talk about, there is a lot on the line, so let's get into it. If you enjoy the Boku no Hero content right here on the channel, please leave a like to let me know, it definitely helps. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You can also hit me up on Twitter and or Instagram at AnimeUproar. Finally, there will definitely be Boku no Hero manga spoilers in this video. As I mentioned, we're talking about the latest events in the story, so please proceed with caution, you have been warned. The cover of chapter 259 seems unrelated to the rest of the chapter. It just shows Fuyumi Todoroki meeting Natsuo at the doorstep of their home. The text reads, "New life of Fuyumi and Natsuo, another step towards being a family." Behind Natsuo, we see a faint glimpse of a girl with animal ears. Not sure if this is maybe Natsuo's girlfriend, but I don't recall seeing her before. I'm guessing that this brief scene is going to be somehow related to Endeavor and his whole story arc up to this point, but I'm not exactly sure why it was included with this chapter. However, right after this cover, we jump right into the big stuff. We see Deku's Doctor and the villain known by the alias Daruma Ujiko. But now we finally learn his real name, which is Shiga Maruta, and interestingly enough, we learned that the Doctor was apparently born quirkless. Or at least that's what the official information on him says, but you never know with a guy who's been working with All for One. The Doctor is the founder and CEO of the Jaku General Hospital. The name of the hospital is another reference to Star Wars, by the way. And we also learned that for years, the Doctor has been setting up orphanages, nursing homes, and private clinics throughout the country. Officially, the Doctor claims to be interested in quirk-based community care, and he is a well-known philanthropist. In his public persona, the Doctor is highly respected because of his impressive resume and his accomplishments. But as we all know, he has been leading a double life. While pretending to be a philanthropist and a renowned health worker, the Doctor has been working with All for One and the League of Villains. And worst of all, he has been creating the noumu using human corpses, although I suspect that some of the noumu like Kurogiri were not created from corpses, but from still living people. We are then transported into a large hero briefing where Tsukauchi is explaining all of the information that they have gathered about the Doctor. Tsukauchi and the police were able to unmask the Doctor and learn his true identity, thanks in large part to Oboro's clue about the hospital. After they received that clue, the police studied the blueprints of all of the hospitals in the country. And they found that the blueprints of one hospital included a section that was unlabeled and whose true purpose was unknown to the hospital's employees. This secret section of the hospital is accessible only through the morgue, and the only one who has access to it is Shiga, aka Ujiko, aka the Doctor. Tsukauchi sent one of his men to work undercover in this particular hospital, and one day while he was following the Doctor, Tsukauchi's agent was able to snap a photo of the secret section from a distance. A photo that also managed to capture a glimpse of the tiny noumu known as Johnny, the noumu who possesses the sludgy warping quirk. This is all to prove that the police and the heroes needed to arrest the Doctor, and it does make perfect sense. With a secret section of the hospital that is accessible only by the morgue and that only the Doctor has access to, it would have been easy for him and All for One to steal the body of Oboro and many other innocent people, and to then turn these people into noumu without anyone ever noticing. So the interview with Kurogiri back in Tartarus prison and the clue about the hospital ended up being absolutely instrumental in getting the police to this point in their investigation. Tsukauchi says that the Doctor's arrest won't be difficult, but they can't mess it up because otherwise the heroes on the other front line will be discovered before they have had a chance to complete their own mission. That mission is of course to capture Shigaraki before he finishes powering up, and some other stuff that I'll talk about soon. And of course, all of this information about Shigaraki was given to the heroes by Hawks after he received the intel from Twice. At this point, we also learned that the police and heroes are fully aware of the existence and actions of the Paranormal Liberation Front. And in fact, their goal is not only to take the Doctor and Shigaraki off the board, but to take down the entire Liberation Front in one fell swoop. This will require assaulting the mansion where the leadership of the Paranormal Liberation Front meets, an assault that is set to take place at the same time as the Doctor's arrest. A whole other group of heroes is apparently preparing for the assault on the mansion, a separate group from the one we saw in the previous chapter, which featured Endeavor, Aizawa, my boy, Washa, and so on. The Endeavor group is presumably attacking the hospital. Well, I shouldn't say attacking the hospital, I mean they're trying to arrest the Doctor, and while this group is doing that, the other group is going to be attacking the mansion. The Mansion group has everyone from Mount Lady, Midnight, Kamui Woods, Gang Orca, Fat Gum, Edshot, and Cementos to students like Sun Eater and Mushroom Girl from Class 1B, aka Kinoko Komori. Even heroes and students from the other hero schools are here, including members of the Ketsubutsu Academy. So this is definitely a national issue at this point, and a major nationwide operation. Some of the students like Mushroom Girl, Kaminari, and Tokoyami have actually been taken to the front lines rather than placed in supporting roles like most of the other students. But the idea is apparently to get them to use their powerful quirks to help out a little bit in the beginning, and then retreat from the front lines so that they would not be in danger. Not sure if this is exactly how it's gonna end up working out, but according to Edshot, they have surrounded the villains from all sides and not even a single one will be allowed to get away. This all definitely looks very good for the heroes at the moment. Most of their intel has come from Hawks, so they know the meeting times and places that the villains use, they know their routines and movements, and so on. But in my previous MHA video, I said that I think the heroes might be heading into a trap. I'll talk more about that later, but it all just seems far too convenient at this point. One word from Oboro and the intel from Hawks have seemingly led to the unmasking of the entire Paranormal Liberation Front. And the heroes are now in position and preparing to take the entire Liberation Front down in one day. This might be where the story is really heading, but after all of that build-up that we've had for the villains, including Shigaraki, Twice, Toga, and so on, this just seems a bit too easy. I think that the villains still have something up their sleeve. I think that Twice might have been feeding some false intel to Hawks, but we'll have to wait and see whether my prediction is correct. As Endeavor sets out on his mission, the citizens of the city are actively noticing the strange lack of heroes on the streets. However, they do finally see one hero, Slide and Go, and he also seems confused about why he can't see any other heroes on the streets. But we know that Slide and Go is not just a normal hero, he is a dedicated member of the Paranormal Liberation Front. It is safe to assume that thanks to Hawks' intel, the police and the heroes deliberately kept all the Liberation Front sympathizers out of the loop. In the next moment, Slide and Go is grabbed from behind by Death Arms, the punching hero. Death Arms calls Slide and Go a treacherous Liberation devotee, and he presumably takes Slide and Go out of commission for the remainder of the operation. He is of course the punching hero, so I expect he will be doing quite a bit of punching right about now. The students from the previous chapter, who are being led by Burnin, including of course Deku and many of the students from Class 1A, begin their evacuation operation as Endeavor's team forces their way into the hospital. The man who had infiltrated the hospital on Tsukauchi's orders leads Endeavor and the heroes straight to the Doctor. The Doctor is thinking to himself that everything is going smoothly and that Shigaraki is under a month away from being complete. But he is then stunned to see Endeavor confront him and expose him for being the noumu creator and All for One's right-hand man. The Doctor looks shocked and scared as Endeavor calls out for him to give up and calls him an agent of evil. And that is where the chapter ends. Clearly from this last scene with the Doctor, it seems that Ujiko was not expecting the heroes to find him at this point in time. Before he was confronted, he thought about everything going smoothly, and then after he is confronted, he seems genuinely freaked out and scared. However, as I said earlier, this whole thing just seems too easy and too simple for my liking. The Paranormal Liberation Front is a large and powerful organization with connections everywhere. They have supporters among the heroes, among the police, among the politicians, and Ujiko has spent much of his life being extremely careful and hiding his identity and true intentions masterfully. So is it really possible that the villains have been caught completely by surprise, and that the heroes are about to destroy the Paranormal Liberation Army in a single operation? I think that after all of this build up for the villains, it would be far too anticlimactic to have them just all go down now. I am more inclined to believe that there is still something going on here that we are missing. The villains must have some trick up their sleeve. Maybe Twice fed some bad information to Hawks in order to test his loyalty, and once Hawks gave the intel to the heroes, the villains knew that Hawks was a spy and they decided to set some sort of trap for the heroes. I fully admit that the reactions of Slide and Go and the Doctor seem to suggest that they were taken by surprise and that the heroes managed to plan and execute this operation without tipping off any Liberation Front sympathizers. But don't forget that we still haven't seen any of the other villains in this chapter. We haven't seen Shigaraki, we haven't seen Twice, Toga, Dabi, Getten, and the rest of the Liberation Front. I sincerely doubt that they are all just sitting ducks waiting to be surrounded and taken into custody by the heroes. I would wager that there is more going on here than meets the eye, but what exactly is going on, I'm not really sure. I do find it difficult to believe that any of the Doctor's plans or potential traps would involve him getting exposed and captured after he went through all that trouble to lead a double life and hide his identity. But then again, something might have changed in the meantime. Perhaps the Doctor needs to take a big risk in order to accomplish something specific. And perhaps he has some high-end noumu hidden inside the hospital and waiting for the heroes to show up. Again, I fully acknowledge that things do look pretty bad for Ujiko and the Liberation Front as of chapter 259. The only way that things could turn around for them now is if there are some factors at play here that we as the readers are not currently aware of. I am willing to bet that this is the case, but that is just my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Did the heroes really just get the jump on the Liberation Front and are they about to take the villains down? Or is there some important piece of the story that we are still missing? Did the heroes end up getting lured into a dangerous trap without even realizing it? Personally, I've always felt that Kurogiri's capture and imprisonment was highly suspicious. It was as if Kurogiri wanted to be caught and sent to Tartarus, the same prison where All For One and all the other major villains are located. It was also Kurogiri who then revealed the information that led to this entire operation, an operation that involves so many heroes. I wouldn't be surprised if all of this hospital stuff is a red herring, and I wouldn't be surprised if All For One uses this major distraction to orchestrate a Tartarus prison break, using of course Kurogiri's quirk, which he is able to forcibly activate even if Kurogiri is unconscious. With all of these heroes and hero students preoccupied with the Liberation Front operation, the security at Tartarus must be lower than it would be on a normal day. And I am sure that the response to a major prison break would also be much slower now because so many heroes are off on special assignment. But that is just my conspiratorial take. Feel free to share your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more Boku no Hero action right here on the channel, please leave a like to let me know. And if you happen to be new to AnimeUproar, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. Seriously, be sure to go through the trouble of turning on all notifications, otherwise you're gonna miss a lot of our videos. It's just how YouTube works. You can follow me on Twitter and or Instagram at AnimeUproar for all the latest Boku no Hero news and updates. I want to give a big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons who support our content and make these videos possible. First up, let me thank our The One tier patrons, the ones who rise above all other clans, including Ingrata, Alolanada, Makota-kun, The World, Steelers, The School Bus, and Tyson Quirino. I also can't forget our awesome Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, Firidala Beat, Alpha Dio, Anatoly Kazatsky, Angel Cruz, Team Sparky 65, Cricket XP, Rohan Kapoor, Jessica Maloney, Emperor Otaku, Timothy E. Vargas, Jean d'Arc, and Joe Stanton. If you enjoy our videos and you feel that they provide value for you, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a single dollar will give you access to our patron-exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these legendary people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.